Kamsi was a beautiful and intelligent young woman, engaged to Otis, a dashing millionaire from a wealthy family. Despite her humble beginnings, her late parents had been teachers who instilled in her the values of integrity and good manners. Kamsi was the kind of woman most people admired. But not everyone shared this admiration, particularly Mamazuka, Otis's domineering mother. She believed Kamsi was unsuitable for her son and set out to ensure their wedding would never happen. It started subtly, with snide remarks and cold stares. Kamsi, busy planning the wedding, tried to ignore the growing tension. One evening, while preparing a meal for Otis and his family, Mamazuka struck her first blow. With the help of her loyal assistant Nomi, she poured an excessive amount of salt and pepper into the stew Kamsi was cooking. At the dining table, Mamazuka exchanged a knowing glance with Nomi, her lips curling into a sly smile. Mamazuka theatrically spat out the food. "What is this? Do you want to send my son to an early grave?" she exclaimed, her voice laced with feigned outrage. Kamsi, mortified, tasted the food herself. "This can't be. It wasn't like this when I checked it in the kitchen," she protested. Otis, ever the diplomat, tried to defuse the situation. "It's okay, Mom. We can just order dinner tonight." But Mamazuka's plan had only just begun. A few days later, Mamazuka and Nomi orchestrated another scheme. They sent a bouquet of roses, chocolates, and a love note to Kamsi, making it appear as though she had a secret admirer. When the delivery arrived, Kamsi was confused and concerned. The note read, "I cherish what we share together. Nothing or no one can keep us apart." "Who sent this?" Mamazuka demanded, her eyes narrowing with suspicion. "I don't know," Kamsi stammered, bewildered. Otis entered the room, sensing the tension. "What's going on?" he asked. "Your fiancé has a lover," Mamazuka declared, waving the note in the air. Kamsi's eyes filled with tears. "That's not true. I have no idea who sent this. I would never cheat on you, Otis." Otis placed a reassuring hand on Kamsi's shoulder. "I believe you," he said firmly, turning to his mother. "Please stop meddling, Mom." As the wedding day approached, Mamazuka grew desperate. She planted a large sum of money in Kamsi's bag, framing her as a thief. When Otis discovered the money missing, Mamazuka pounced. "Ask Kamsi," she urged. "She was just saying the other day how she wished she had more money for the wedding." Reluctantly, Otis searched Kamsi's bag and found the money. Kamsi burst into tears. "Someone must have put it there to frame me." Otis's silence was deafening. Devastated, Kamsi fled. Otis's world crumbled. He searched for Kamsi tirelessly, finally finding her at her best friend's house. He knelt before her, tears streaming down his face. "I'm so sorry for doubting you. Please come back." Dear amazing viewers, I know that you are wondering if Kamsi will forgive Otis. What will Mamazuka do if Kamsi returns? Will the wedding still hold? Keep watching to find out. Before I continue, I would like to ask you to kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and turn on the notification button. Please like the video and drop a comment. Much appreciation. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back and thank you so much. Now back to the story. Moved by his sincerity, Kamsi returned, but the couple's joy was short-lived. On their wedding day, with the help of her assistant Nomi, Mamazuka stole the couple's wedding rings in a plot to disrupt the ceremony. Hidden within the deep pockets of her attire were the stolen wedding rings, symbols of unity now ensnared in her scheme. "You understand why this must be done, don't you?" Mamazuka whispered, her voice a venomous mix of authority and justification. Nomi nodded, her lips pressed into a thin line, but her eyes betrayed a flicker of doubt. The clock ticked closer to the moment of reckoning. Behind the scenes, the best man, Mike, was in a quiet frenzy. His sharp eye had caught the glint of emptiness in the ring box as he prepared to step forward for the vows. Panic clawed at him as he pulled the groom, Otis, aside. "The rings, they're gone," Mike hissed, his usually composed demeanor crumbling. Otis's face went pale as he glanced at his bride, Kamsi, who was radiant and oblivious to the brewing chaos. "What do you mean, gone? They can't just vanish," Otis shot back, his voice rising slightly. Mike motioned for calm, but his eyes darted nervously toward the crowd, where Mamazuka sat like a queen on a throne, her expression unreadable. "We need to delay the ceremony," Mike murmured, his mind racing. Back at the altar, Kamsi's smile faltered as she noticed Otis's tense demeanor. "Is everything all right?" she asked softly, her voice full of concern. Otis forced a tight smile. "It's nothing, just a little hiccup." But Mamazuka, watching with quiet satisfaction, leaned toward Nomi and whispered, "Patience, my dear. The collapse of a perfect day is best savored slowly." Nomi's fingers trembled, her guilt growing unbearable. She glanced at Mike, who now prowled the edges of the room, searching for answers. The violinists faltered for a moment, sensing the shift in energy. As Otis turned back to the altar, his heart heavy, Otis caught Mamazuka's gaze and saw the faintest glimmer of triumph in her eyes. His gut twisted. He knew. The battle to recover the rings had just begun, but the price of exposing the truth could cost more than a ceremony. It could shatter a family. Fortunately, Otis's friend Lola stepped in with replacements. Furious that her plans were thwarted, Mamazuka feigned a dramatic collapse, but in a cruel twist of fate, her pretense turned real as she hit her head and was rushed to the hospital. When Mamazuka woke up, the first person she saw was Kamsi, holding her hand. Overwhelmed by guilt, she tearfully apologized. "I was wrong about you. You're the best thing that ever happened to my son." Kamsi smiled. "Otis and I are already married. We're family now." "Let me make it up to you," Mamazuka insisted. She threw an extravagant party, welcoming Kamsi into the family with open arms. For the first time, they all felt like one united family. But beneath the surface, cracks remained. Nomi, who had loyally executed Mamazuka's schemes, harbored resentment, and in the shadows, an unknown figure watched, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Weeks after the wedding, Kamsi settled into her role as Otis's wife, earning the admiration of Otis's extended family. She worked diligently to bridge the gap between herself and Mamazuka, who was making genuine efforts to be supportive. However, Nomi, feeling discarded, began leaking false stories about Kamsi to the media. "Have you seen this?" Otis asked one morning, holding up a tabloid with the headline, "Millionaire's Wife Caught in a Web of Lies." Kamsi read the article with trembling hands. It accused her of using Otis for his money and fabricating her modest background. "This is ridiculous," she said, her voice shaking. "I've never lied about my life." Otis kissed her forehead. "I know that. We'll get to the bottom of this." Meanwhile, Mamazuka confronted Nomi. "Did you have anything to do with this?" she demanded. Nomi feigned innocence. "Why would I? Kamsi's your daughter-in-law now." But Mamazuka wasn't convinced. She began investigating Nomi, determined to protect Kamsi. Otis hired a private investigator who uncovered a series of anonymous tips leading back to Nomi. When confronted, Nomi broke down. "I was jealous," she admitted. "I wanted to be in Kamsi's position. But I see now that I was wrong. Mamazuka dismissed Nomi from her service, but offered her a chance to turn her life around. We all make mistakes, she said. What matters is what we do afterward. Just as the family began to find peace, an estranged relative of Otis's father appeared, claiming a stake in the family business. This new challenge threatened to upend their lives. We have to fight this, Otis said, holding Kamsi's hand. Together. Kamsi nodded. Whatever comes our way, we face it as a team. Their journey had only just begun, with more trials ahead, but their bond grew stronger with every challenge. As Otis and Kamsi prepared to tackle the legal battle against the estranged relative, new information came to light. The relative, Benjamin, was not just after the business. He had a personal vendetta against the family, blaming Otis's father for the collapse of his own family's fortunes. I won't rest until I've taken everything, Benjamin declared during a heated confrontation. Otis refused to back down. You're fighting a ghost, Benjamin. My father may have made mistakes, but I'm not him. This company belongs to everyone who worked to build it, not just me. The situation escalated when Benjamin began targeting Kamsi, spreading rumors about her involvement in shady dealings. I'll ruin her reputation, he sneered during a private meeting with Mamazuka. But Mamazuka, now fiercely protective of Kamsi, retorted, You'll do no such thing. This family stands together now. In court, Otis and Kamsi, supported by Mamazuka and other family members, presented evidence of Benjamin's attempts to sabotage the business. The judge ruled in their favor, solidifying their unity. Outside the courtroom, Mamazuka hugged Kamsi tightly. You've proven yourself over and over again. I'm proud to call you my daughter. Kamsi smiled through tears. Thank you, Mama. That means the world to me. With the battles behind them, the family celebrated their victories with a grand dinner. As Otis and Kamsi shared a dance, he whispered, No matter what, I'll always choose you. And I'll always stand by you, she replied, her voice full of love and determination. The road had been long and fraught with challenges, but together they knew they could face anything. Their love had triumphed, and with the family now united, their future was brighter than ever. Before you watch the next video, kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Please click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification button, and like this video. Be a part of my channel's growth by clicking on the next video on the screen and drop a comment to let me know what you think about the story. Thank you for watching. Much appreciation.